Alright guys, we got a request from JT Tran. How do we get the AC evaporator core out and how do we clean it? So we're going to go through a video today. I've got a GTS in the shop currently that we were actually doing a retrofit on. Due to OSHA and EPA, I won't be able to show you how to evacuate the system or to work on the system itself other than taking this evaporator out in this video. So here we go, and I will get you started. Alright, we got a 1993 GTS in the shop. I've already removed the front seat just to make it easier to make the video. I've got some tools laid out and we'll get you going through the process here. These are the tools you're going to need. So a multiple of different 1/4 inch stubby Phillips, standard Phillips, a flathead, a 19, a 17, a 24, a 27, 10mm socket, a 1/4 inch universal drive, some type of pick apparatus, and about a 6-inch extension 1/4 inch. First step you're going to do is make sure that the negative battery is disconnected. You're also going to make sure that this has already been previously evacuated or vacuumed out. And then you're going to need the 24 and the 27mm wrench. 24 goes on the inside nipple, 24 to the outside. Break that free. Screw. And give it a slight tug. There may be a little gas still stuck in there, but very rarely. Second step, you're going to go in with the 17. You're going to place it on the inner (19) on the outer. Hold the 17 steady and turn the nut. Screw that off as well. And pop that out. So now you currently have, this is the low side line and the high side line. Both of those are now disconnected off of your evaporator, and we can go inside. All right, once inside, we're going to remove the glove box. We're going to remove this trim panel. There's a small screw located in the side here with a cover on it. We're going to get to that one first. So let me get that popped off. That's what our little pick tool is for. That opens up. There's a Phillips screwdriver underneath. You have the stubby screwdriver. Allows us to get in between the door. Not the easiest to do this one-handed. All right, small screw, lay that off to the side. We're going to grab hold of the molding here. I'll pull that back a little bit so that it exposes. And then we have another Phillips screw down here at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and pop that out. Another Phillips screw located down here. Go ahead and grab that out of there real quick. Set that off to the side. You're going to notice two small Phillips screws down here. Let me switch hands real quick. Get the light on it. Set that off to the side. Second screw over here. And this releases the lower section of the glove box. As you see, falls out. Now, trick to getting the glove box out. In some of you guys' cars, there's going to be a soft lowering feature. This one apparently is broken because we've already cleaned out the glove box, and it's not operational. But if it's attached to this, I'll show you how that all works. Spin the glove box to the side, and it comes right out. So we don't have the soft close or soft open feature on this glove box, so we're good. So what you see in front of you, we still have a screw here and a screw up here that have to take the side plate out. So we're going to go ahead and remove those real quick. If you hear voices in the background, that's Dom and Andre. They're working on another Skyline at the moment. All right, then slide this out. It's got a single clip located right about here, so it gets a little rough to get her out. Let's see if I can get her. Let's just pop while we're on camera. So this is the piece that was holding us there. All right, now that we have that all out of the way, we have a lower crossbar here. 2 screws on this side, 2 screws on that side, and this whole bar will come out. All right, so it's still holding in here. There's a locating tab right here. There's a small hook right here. Lift the hook up, pull off the locating tab, and your whole bar comes right out. So now we've got the whole evaporator box exposed, but we can't take it out just yet. Up above, this is the hook where your glove box closes onto. Small screw here. Small screw here. You need to take those out. All right, and now you're going to reach up. There's a couple of slots up in the back here. You can grab all the way to the back here and give her a good pull down real quick. Above here is an electrical connector for your glove box light. I'm going to press that in. And it falls away. All right. Located here, this is blower motor resistor. This needs to be unplugged. And located way up on the top here, we've got a white connector with a yellow face, a black connector, and a second white connector, small stop. Let's see if I can get up in there with light. So those three connectors are going to have to be disconnected. First one is a small push-in tab. Second one, you're going to give a small push-in tab as well. A little black one there. And then the other one is sideways, small push-in tab. So those three are disconnected. And out of our way. All right, next step. On the actual evaporator housing itself, you have a 10mm headed bolt here, a 10mm head bolt here, one at the top, whoops, one down here on the edge, and all the way up front there, you're going to see a nut. Those all have to be removed to take, or I'm sorry, above the nut. There's a small bolt located right up here. Those all have to be removed in order to take this out. So I'm going to use the 10mm socket, the universal, and my little extension here. You would probably use a ratchet. I have a power system, so I'm going to get those off real quick. Trying to position light so you guys can see. I can see it a little bit better being up close. And the last one down here in the front corner. Then you're going to give her a slight pull. This one's never been out apparently because it's a little tough. Let it fall down a little bit like that. All right, and we're going to be gentle getting the box down because we have one other harness we have to pop off up the top here. So this white connector, get a good finger behind it and push it forward. So we're removing the connector off the actual box. And there we have it. She's out, and we're going to dismantle it, and I'll show you why. All right, so I brought the unit outside, put it on a bench here. It's in the sunlight, might give us a little bit better extra light and stuff. But the whole unit's out. Here's your connectors and everything, and you're going to notice there's Phillips screwdrivers, or Phillips screw heads all the way around here. And on this side, you're going to have the 2 screws here on your fan resistor. And let's go ahead and get started tearing that apart. Alright, I turned around so we had it in the sun. You're going to take 2 screws out here. Three Phillips screws along the perimeter. Flip it around real quick. Perimeter screw, perimeter screw, perimeter screw, and a perimeter screw. Okay, we have all the perimeter screws out, but there are 2 clips that have to be removed. One is located underneath the foam, behind here. You have to peel the foam back. Try to save as much of it as you can. And this here is our clip. Then we have another clip here. Now, the reason we have a flathead screwdriver through this whole post, or through this whole video, if you look very closely, there's a ridge right there. If you pry this way, you're doing it wrong. You're going to break your housing. Take the flathead screwdriver, set it inside the small curl, and just pry it back. They come right off. Again, this one's covered with a little foam tape, but we can get in there. And again, pry it back, and it comes right out. All right, so we're ready to separate the housing. Little foam will tear here. You can grab all 4 corners and just slowly reach them through. You're going to split the housing, bring it up straight. Sorry. Inside the side is a small center here. Squeeze the 2 tips together, pull it out of the evaporator, just like that. That's what was holding us in. All right, so we split the housing. We're going to set it off to the side. Now you're asking, why are we doing this whole thing, Sean? I don't understand. Well, this is the clean side. This is what actually your refrigerant is blowing through this direction and is coming through these coils, and this is what goes through the fan system. If we spin this around, That's why we do this. All this is fur, dust, you name it, is all embedded in the coils. So when you're talking about having poor performance from your air conditioning system, this is why. Skyline doesn't have a cabin filter. So we get oils, we get drippage, we get leakage, which this one's showing some leakage if you can see the oils down the bottom. So we're going to clean this all down before we put it back in, so that when we recharge our air conditioning, we have a great flow through this, well, actually this way, and that we change out. There's a metering valve in here. There is a temp sensor underneath this tape, this butyl tape. So when we start talking about going through the diagnostics and you have one of your sensors is reading bad, it's not this one. This actually belongs to the metering valve that senses temperature. It's a small temperature bulb. And is mounted directly to the suction side, or the low pressure side. So we've got that temperature bulb there. And you guys noticed a wire that was coming down through. Behind this part of the butyl tape is a electronic sensor, and that has to read. And then your other electronic sensor for your suction temp is this one that we removed from the condenser on the other side to see what the temperature was coming through the core. All right guys, so we'll get this cleaned up, we'll get it installed later, and I hope you enjoyed the video. All right, have a great day guys.